There's something in Lynbrook that could be very interesting in the very beginning stages now.
So here we're looking at the artist's rendition of what would be the Cornerstone Lynbrook. And there's a lot of things wrong with this structure. First of all, they don't know what color they want it to be. They're like, hey, we'll go a little red there, a little blue here, dark blue, a little tannish green there. I mean, what is that? What is that? And then, second of all, they don't even know what they want to build it out of. They go, I'll throw a little brick here, a little aluminum siding there. Just no. Just no. Do better. Moving on, we got the legend here of what it would look like, where it would go on Lynbrook streets. And that includes the municipal parking garage, which is also a miserable decision and would be an invitation for other developers to come and build vertically in Lynbrook. That's what that is. That parking garage is a welcome mat for vertical development. And I mean, that would be the death knell of suburban Lynbrook. So let's go walk you through this. All right. So I'm here on site, Earl Ave and St. James Place. This is the parking lot where Anthony Bartone and Alan Beach want to construct their no-bid basilica. And throughout this video, my hope is to show you why that's such a terrible idea and why Alan Beach needs to be voted out, Rob Baccio needs to be voted out, Anne-Marie Reardon needs to be voted out. We need to vote because those three were ready to just push this down Lynbrook's throat. And that's not okay. We need to vote in Hillary Becker, Steve Ligori, and Antonella Tavella to preserve Lynbrook. So here's the lot. As you can see, it's very much in use. They want to say it's an underutilized parking lot. That's visibly not the case. And moreover, hey, the train. Moreover, look at what we have across the street. 1, 2, 3 residential homes and a church. And you want to build a massive 200-unit apartment complex on this parking lot, which is clearly in use by residents of Lynbrook, by people who commute out of Lynbrook, to park where? Where are they going to park? Where are they going to park when they take the LIRR in the morning? It's outrageous. And yeah, it's a fireable offense to even have allowed it to get this far. This is totally inappropriate. Look, another home there. Just unacceptable. And throughout the course of this video, I want to show you some other comparable developments on Long Island, just for you to appreciate the scope of what they tried to do to Lynbrook. So have a watch. So here we are in Westbury / Garden City by Roosevelt Field Mall. This here is the Vanderbilt complex. It's located, in a commercial district. And as you can see, it's a titanic development, one that would not fit in with Lynbrook. But let's take a closer look so you can all appreciate. As you can see, it requires an attached parking garage. I don't know how many units are in here. Might have to find that out after. But yeah, these sorts of developments are just simply gigantic. Going back uphill now. Let's have a look at the other side of this. Look how much parking this thing requires. And again, this is Westbury. This is a huge area. This is a heavily trafficked commercial area. This is not Lynbrook. All right, so this is Avalon Garden City. Now, as you can see, this is more of a spread out community of townhouse type of thing rather than a single monolithic apartment building cramped into a single plot of land trying to fit several hundred units into one vacant plot. I think Long Islanders find that to be a little more palatable, especially if it's tucked into commercial districts. Like you can see, there's an office building in the distance. There's another one across the street. And further down, you'll be entering Roosevelt Field Mall. So, Avalon Garden City, not bad, but for those of you who don't know, Avalon Rockville Center was a massive controversy for residents there, and that wound up being constructed, and that'll be our next stop. So here we are, Avalon Rockville Center. You can see the scope of this thing. And I'll explain the history of this in a bit, but you can tell there's one building and then there's a second part over there. So let's get a little closer. And what's interesting about our Avalon RVC is that I believe it was being constructed in 2010. And they were renting it by 2012 anyway. There was a massive protest with Rockville Center residents, and they were also being subject, the developer of these were also asking for a pilot program, and the residents of Rockville Center thankfully fought that tooth and nail, and they basically withdrew their opposition once the developer agreed to pay his fair share of property taxes and not accept subsidies in the form of a pilot agreement. So you can see how big these two are. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 stories here, and then 1, 2, 3 stories over there, and there's another one. So this is a tremendous project. I don't know how full it is, but it's a whole campus of residential apartments. And in doing some research, I think as of 2012, the rent was $2,200 a month for a single unit. I'm sure that's gone up by now, but I mean, if the market says people are willing to pay that, that's one thing. But that, to me, that's a mortgage payment over here on Long Island for most folks. So, I mean, there are other apartment buildings that are completely vacant. I know Valley Stream has had that. That's an issue in several buildings in Valley Stream. But I don't know so much the leasing, how full these are, but I would be surprised if it's completely full given the sheer number of apartments. So there you have it. This is Avalon Bay RVC. So next stop is the Allure Mineola. We're gonna try to catch this while moving. I know I shouldn't do that, I apologize. But as you can see, it's in close proximity to the courthouses. And here you go, there it is. Bang. Pretty big. Takes up a whole block. I don't know how many units are in this, but this is a big boy. And what's interesting about development in Mineola, I recently had the privilege of sitting in on a talk with their mayor, who was kind enough to come to Valley Stream and go over some of his thoughts on development. And he brought up a lot of the unique issues that Mineola faces. Over there, I'm not gonna drive over there right now, but there's Winthrop Hospital over there, and the reason I had the courthouse is also just to show you the sort of traffic in Mineola, the sort of, you know, there's plenty of lawyers, plenty of doctors. Look, there's the legislature, excuse me, and yeah, there's no courthouses in Lynbrook. There's no major hospital, and there's no county seat. So what is the justification for a massive 200 unit complex? I don't know. Here we are in East Rockaway. I don't know the name of this apartment offhand, but I'm gonna figure it out. Then I'm gonna do an overlay for everybody's information. This is right on the water. They even got their own little harbor. Now, that's pretty cool. I guess if you have a little boat, you could just quote unquote you could dock and walk right up. That's pretty cool. And I think this is a pretty cool location, right on the water. That's so I don't have a problem with this, and it probably in no small part due to the fact that I personally happen to find it quite aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, it's a big one though, no doubt about it. And they've got the parking underneath, so that's kind of solved their problem. It's a self-contained parking thing. And then over the pond, I believe that over there is the Fairfield Waterside. Just worth checking out. I don't know the backstory of these two, but it's worth checking out. And I was right in the area because, you know, this is my neighboring town. And yeah, I like the pond, not gonna lie. But you know, they have ample land, more than enough land for this sort of development. There's no bay like this. Oh, this isn't a bay, whatever it is. There's nothing like this in Lynbrook that they have the space to build on. And I'm curious to see if that's the next, if we're going to be seeing another apartment building on that patch of grass soon. Well, that's not grass either, but whatever it is. All right. So this is East Rockaway. This one's actually called Marina Point. And it's even bigger than you could actually tell from the water. I'm inside now. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this one's beautiful. So we're gonna cap this video off where it all began. I'm here in Farmingdale, and this is the Cornerstone. This is Terwilliger and Bartone's flagship project that they're trying to, that they want to export, the exportable model that they want to bring to the quaint streets of Lynbrook. As you can see, this thing takes up more than a block. Look how much parking it requires again. And once again, you know where I stand on how this will impact Lynbrook. And I remind you that Cornerstone Lynbrook was going to be even bigger than this. Cornerstone Lynbrook would have been the biggest project in Lynbrook history. And there it says now leasing, and they'll likely be leasing forever because no one wants these things on Long Island. So as you can see right behind me, it says luxury rental residences, and That's exactly what it is. That's in stark contrast to what anyone else is telling you, that this is housing for millennials. This is, this is affordable housing for middle income. It's not. It's not meant to be that, and that's not what they're looking to do in Lynbrook. And the village of Lynbrook is gonna do what it does. With the village of no, we told them no, and that's how it's gonna be. So we did our thing. We're gonna keep doing our thing. We're gonna preserve Lynbrook, and that's gonna be that. Say no to Cornerstone. Preserve Lynbrook.